Well, welcome to day one of the Corporate Coaching Challenge. This is a tremendous opportunity for us to bring who we are, bring our products, our programs, our services into an environment of people who want you. They want to involve you, they want to be engaged with you. And like all of us, everybody needs variety. Everybody needs stimulation and growth. And so, what I plan to do today on our first day is we're going to go into kind of what's the state of the state with corporate coaching, what's happening with corporate. And when I say corporate, I mean organizations, associations, businesses, small, medium, and large businesses. Doesn't have to be your typical traditional Fortune 100 kind of company. Okay, can be companies of all different sizes. And so we're going to go into that. And then we're going to go into a whole discussion about how do we make this match? There's got to be a match that's made. We're really matchmakers in what we do, who we are, and what does the corporation, the organization, what do they need? And of course, tomorrow and on Thursday and Friday, we're going to talk about exact strategies to help you get in and to be able to land your first corporate client. So I'm letting everybody in our room. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're all here. I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of the C-Suite Network, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. I have been a long time corporate coach. I have done so much work in corporations, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in the beginning. But I took my experience from corporate and essentially translated it, being a coach, into how to get back into corporations and help them solve big problems. Okay. How to be a resource, how to be a helper, how to help people work better together. And these are all terms that corporations have their radar up. And also associations, organizations, nonprofit. I mean, it's just incredible, the opportunity. And welcome to everybody who's coming in to our challenge here today, day one. So the opportunity is real. And as I mentioned, I've had a whole variety. It's just a tiny thimbleful of the names of clients that I've worked with as a coach consultant to help them with their organization. And also, tons of education. We forget about education and government and all kinds of different entities. So it's a huge, huge opportunity. And my intention for today is to get our radar up about what's possible. And again, we're making the match here between who you are, what you do, your products and services, and the corporations that are looking for you. Okay. And the stats specifically with women in corporate, they're leaving in droves. They are looking for new opportunities. Post COVID, that was such a game changer for all of us. And women are finding, especially women, are finding they just can't go back. They can't go back to the status quo of sitting in an office 5 days a week, 9 to 5. And so, they're looking for new ways to reinvent themselves. And most importantly, corporations are looking for ways to engage their employees, their valued associates, their colleagues. Okay. And I also want us to be thinking today about it's not only the people in the corporations, but guess what, folks? You have a tremendous opportunity to work through the supply chain. And what I mean by that, if you're not familiar with these terms, it's okay. Just jot the terms down. We'll do a Q&A session throughout so we can ask those questions. But for partners, for colleagues, for your corporation's clients, they are looking for ways to add value to their clients. So it's really an endless opportunity within corporate. Okay. And so mainly in this particular slide, corporations are looking for ways for retention and engagement of their current employees. And it's kind of one of the focuses of today is you as the coach consultant, no matter what you do. I mean, I have coached coaches and consultants that literally have been hypnotists and hypnotherapists, have been belly dancers. I'm not kidding you. Have been massage therapists, have been branding experts that focus in on astrology. No kidding. I mean, from all these different dimensions to be able to bring to corporatize their offers and bring them into corporate. So if we can have those kinds of offers, you're in the right place. Okay. If you're a leadership coach, communication coach, if you're a consultant on different aspects of business productivity, you're in the right place. Okay. And so what we also know is that loneliness, and I didn't bring in the statistics this morning. You know these statistics that loneliness in the workplace as it is at an all-time high, and people feeling disenfranchised from their work. They're not connected. They're not heart-centered. Now, this is a percentage of people, and Gallup has done study after study that many employees, like up to literally over 50%, are looking for their next gig. Okay. And so they may have one foot in, but they may also have one foot out. And so corporations are looking for creative ways to engage the hearts, the minds, the souls, the personal life, the professional life of their employees. They want to have employees stay for the long term and be productive, be happy, and be profitable to the organization. Okay. So I just want to pause here for a moment, get your voices in the room, just do a little stop share, get us on gallery mode. And if you can be on video, we'd love it. And, certainly feel free, raise your hand, jump in. What are you seeing in the way of what's happening in corporate? What are you reading about? What are you seeing about? What are your friends and family members talking about with their jobs and with their careers? I want to get your voices in.
So, I've been talking to a lot of HR leaders. And so one of the things that they tell me they're struggling with is retention. So keeping good people. And, they're especially those who've been in HR for a long time and have been present for sort of that generational changeover from like millennial to Gen Z, or even from Gen X to Gen Z. They're seeing a huge difference in attitudes around and relationship to work. So they're getting this sort of sense that while Gen Z wants more meaning, so this is what's really, to your question, more meaning, more purpose, like why am I doing this, like, and feeling connected to that. There's also a mercenary nature to millennial and Gen Z, where it's like if they are dissatisfied for whatever reason, whether it's salary or they're just not connecting to the work, they're out. Like there's no, so that's another thing. It's the challenge is really truly keeping people happy and connected and engaged with their work, because they're not seeing it, and then they're leaving. So
Christina, brilliant insights. Yes. And can you imagine the role of the internal HR person or the HR team, the department division, or even leadership within organizations, the tough time they have, they have to get the work done. They've got to get the productivity. They've got to get the results that they've committed to their board, to their shareholders, their stakeholders, their partners, their customers, their clients. And at the same time, it's like a full-time job, being able to engage and inspire and motivate and create community and connection, among people, deal with turnover, deal with conflict. I mean, all of these things are a daily deal. So it's almost like they have full-time jobs, a couple full-time jobs.
Can I add a follow-up? So there was this sort of idea that you could get rid of the management class in a lot of companies, and I think what we're seeing now is a consequence of the decimation of middle management, because that was their job. Their job was that motivational sort of piece to it. making sure they had their fingers on the pulse of the entire team, who was going through what, like, and that was a very important role. And a lot of companies didn't see the value in that. So they got rid of that and just went for a direct relationship between like the head of the executive level and the individual contributor. And I think what we're seeing now is that conflict in ideologies, that conflict in productivity, and so I feel like the value is bringing that middle management back, or if it does exist, supporting them and being the consultant who is talking about you're sitting on a lot of value here that's going to solve all of your problems. Here I am to support that resource so that you are not having these retention problems. Sorry, just wanted to
No,
follow up there.
Christina, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I think now more than ever, and Angela will come over to you in a moment, is business is really being restructured, and we're all on, a very shaky ground. Let's put also in the context, in the US, we have an election coming up, and we've got an inauguration of a new president, and we've got the economy that's kind of crazy. I mean, we've got all these dynamics that are happening, and we're expecting corporations, our organizations are expecting employees to come in and be able to do their jobs. They're expected to do their jobs that they've been hired for, when in the background, employees are dealing with life. Hello, their kid was sick today. The bus was late. They're concerned about their aging parents. They're concerned about this. I mean, they've got all kinds of real life concerns. And without that middle management, Christina, without that layer, they're not even really equipped to be the coach, be the consultant with the expertise. And coming in with an unbiased commitment, I think that's one of the things that I provide the best for my corporate clients is I'm able to come in with a fresh look on things. I'm able to come into with an inspiration and a motivation of, do you see the gem of this company? And to be able to help people reinvent themselves, really powerful. You get to stand for the employees and for the corporation in a new way. You're like the fresh new kid on the block, and it's an exciting, valuable opportunity. Yeah, thank you. Angela, jump in. Kim, thanks for coming on video. Great to see you. Yeah, yeah. Angela, you had something that you wanted to mention too. The state of the state incorporation. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and I think this is more the case with younger workers. It's certainly the case with me. And I consider myself amongst the younger crowd, despite my son's protestations to the contrary. We want to bring value to the company as individuals. We don't just want to be my boss, current boss in my day job said, one of the worker bees. We want to actually know that when we get a paycheck, we actually brought value to the company that makes that paycheck worth it.
Excellent. And, thank you, Angela. And, we haven't even gone into and brought into the whole aspect of corporations, organizations, businesses. They want to do the right thing about having their businesses diverse. They want to have accessibility. They want to do good by being good and be good by doing good, all of those things. They have a social conscience. And at the same time, they're ill equipped. I will just say this. They are ill equipped. You all know this. They don't have the skills to skill up on how to do it. They want to do it, but they don't have the skills. Hence, we get to be the consultant, the coach to bring this to them. And Angela, you'd agree, right?
Yeah, and a lot of times what people don't realize is doing the right thing and being profitable are not mutually exclusive. There's this idea that they're mutually exclusive, right? They're not, especially when it comes to accessibility. And I'm just sitting here, I'm already just my head is going crazy with ideas to reach out to corporate clients, and yeah, we'll have to talk at some point, because I don't want to take over your thing here, but yeah, I
Okay.
think you know where
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. Yes. So part of today, and we're going to jump into more about you now. You're here in this challenge, and I so appreciate each of you taking the time to be here for 55 minutes for today. And my commitment is to make this so content and value rich. Okay. So that literally you will leave here today and you will say, I never thought about that. That's a new way for me to do business. Okay. Because the stats support it. Okay. And feel free, jump in if you have a comment, question. We want to get your voices in here, of course, as always. So be thinking about, yes, you may say you're a leadership coach, or you're a communication coach, or you're a team building coach, or you're a get unstuck coach, et cetera, or accessibility coach, or whatever you are, whatever your specialty is, whatever you love to do. Let's broaden the horizons about who you can support, who could be your ideal client in corporate. Okay. And so we know the stats. Business coaching is going through the roof in regard to this, the numbers. It's growing every year because, again, with corporations resizing, reorganizing, moving people around, they don't have the core strengths and the core capabilities in all of the areas like what you specialize in. Okay. So again, we're going to be making this match during the course of our challenge and having you be able to take the next steps, the proven steps on how to get your first corporate coaching client or consulting gig. Okay. Or it could be your fifth or your 10th or your 50th. Okay. So we're going to unlock this corporate coaching code. There is a code to it. If you don't know the code, you can't unlock it. So today we're going to talk about how to do that. So here's a very robust, but an incomplete, I'll just say that, incomplete list of all of the reasons why corporations, organizations, associations, businesses hire coaches and consultants. These are kind of some general areas. Okay. You can see there's just a bunch of areas where you can be engaged. Okay. And these are kind of initiatives, these are projects, but these all lead to end results. We could talk about retention. Christina, you talked about retention, leadership, teamwork, conflict. I mean, all these types of things. But it's also the important thing that we're going to discuss too is to think about so that they can do what, so that they can achieve what, so they can have what kind of outcomes. What are the outcomes that they're looking for? Okay. And we're not going to be throwing ourselves into a survey process today, but we will be doing a survey process during the course of our challenge here. But be thinking about there's all these different kinds of areas and opportunities for you. And everything that you do, we've got to be thinking about. And of course, I'm delighted to have a one-on-one consultation with you to talk about this. But we're drawing the connection between the core things that you do and the outcomes and the results that your corporate client can get. Okay. So are you seeing, give me a little hands up, sparkle fingers, thumbs up, whatever. Are you seeing something on this list that you thought, never thought about that? Okay. Take a screen capture of this if you'd like to. And I'm just going to put it right out there. I would be completely and totally confident that everything that you do, I'm just putting it out there, everything that you do professionally in your coaching consulting business can correlate and translate to one of these or multiple things. Okay. So we're widening our horizon here. All right. And of course, these are some corporate terms here. Don't get messed up on, dragged on this, but the things that they're looking for they're looking for transformational initiatives, things in the company that are going to transform their business, make them more competitive. Obviously, every organization is looking for teams and leadership and executive initiatives, executive leadership boards. They're looking for agility and creativity and technology. They're looking to mitigate the risks. We don't know what's going to happen with the supply chain. We don't know what's going to happen with interest rates, nor do they. That's why they're looking for things like calmness, confidence, communication, ability to have a person like you listen to them. You don't need to know all of the technical terms. You don't need to know that. But let's get really solid on what are the basic, fundamental, powerful things that you do that will help them do these things. Okay. And of course, I just want to mention, again, we're setting the table today is with what you do and who you are, there's so many opportunities. This doesn't have to be a one-on-one kind of corporate opportunity, although it can be. I have so many times used a one-on-one coaching, executive coaching engagement to then marry that into and expand that into teams, departments, divisions, uh, and different subsidiaries of companies. So you can literally take one opportunity with one beautiful human being and translate that into so many different things. There's a constellation of opportunities for you in corporate. Okay. Speaking opportunities. Corporations are looking for great speakers. We all know this. They want to take their leadership team out on a retreat. There's board opportunities. There's so many different things, roundtables, groups. Oh my goodness. And so the key is once just to get into the organization. Okay, we're looking to get on first base here. We're not looking for a home run or the World Series, but part of our initiative during this challenge is that first next step. Because once you're in and you're building the relationship, you can parlay that into so many different opportunities. Okay, so I want to pause here for a moment and just show one more slide because I want us to be thinking about, that again, one opportunity. That's all we need, to be able to teach, share some skills, develop people, help support them, share mentoring guidance. You get to be a listening partner, a confidant, an advocate. You get to show the way around a corner, help them think differently. So many opportunities to just be on call for them, be that trusted advisor. Okay. And this doesn't have to start with the CEO. This doesn't have to start with the C-suite. This could be a person in any department or division within a corporation. So it just starts with one person. Okay. You get to be that trusted person, that accountability person, because the key is every associate employee, every person in a corporation, they might not want to go to their manager or their boss or their leader and share the stuff that they really don't want to say. They may not want to go to that leadership or a coworker and share, hey, I'm thinking about leaving this job. Okay. That would not be a good move. So they need someone like you to listen, to help them strategize, to help them overcome challenges. Okay. So I want to just pause here for a moment. And what can you see for yourself? What's emerging for yourself around opportunities? Thinking a little bit bigger, I hope. And if you can come off video, we would love to see you because we've got a lot of beautiful people here that we would love to see your lovely face. Yeah. Any other, what's emerging for you about what are you seeing are the possibilities for you within corporate? Starting to widen your perspective a little bit. Kim, thank you. Jump in.
Sure. At first I wanted to say, I don't know if you thought you were sharing a slide just now. If for some reason I thought you were sharing a slide, but if not, no worries.
Okay.
Because you mentioned that. But I think for me, having come out of corporate and I am keen to go back in now and support mostly women leaders because that's who I mostly worked with. And I am preparing to do that, but I like the chart that you shared and I'm trying to pull it back up on my screen. So when you ask if we had broadened our I guess, horizons, our thinking. Initially, for me, I was thinking of retention and more so of the women leaders. I can see on their personal growth and development, work-life balance and wellness, problem solving. So I can see some of those things, but competitive edge is very, sounds really, I don't know the right word for it, but how about I just say delicious? So I think that it would be amazing to show, and research has proven, right? Companies who have women leaders, women CEOs, they have these competitive edges. And I haven't really focused a lot on competitive edge, but that actually is pretty cool. And healthy conflict, I'm all about it. So
Yeah, excellent.
yeah, I'd rather have healthy conflict versus you not raise a flag or raise your voice and send the business like off a cliff because you didn't want to start a conflict or something like that. So you know what? Ultimately, probably any of these
Yeah.
would just kind of have to give them a lot, some more thought. And I'm so glad to have this list because it'll help with positioning as I think about some of the things that I see or and am hearing. So thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Kim. And I think this is a first. I love the word delicious. So thank you for bringing the word delicious. It is noontime here in the central of the US. So yeah, delicious is great. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, great. Good. What are other folks seeing for yourself? You know, uh, you don't have to just be like the term coach is, I love the term coach, but the term coach is kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a transformational leader in conflict, healthy conflict enhancing coach, now that's a different game right there. That's a different game. Or you are a LinkedIn specialist and strategist that helps corporations optimize their LinkedIn brand to acquire new clients and to empower their employees for more visibility. You know what I'm saying? There's just so many different opportunities. Yeah, yeah. Anything else before we continue on? Okay, good. Thank you, thank you. Okay,
I'm
so
sorry, can I just say one other thing? I just
please,
wanted
of
to say that
course.
I love the term trusted advisor. That was something that kind of dropped from my radar, but I, thanks for bringing it back.
You, Kim. That was a delicious comment. Thank you so much. Okay, good. Yeah, yes, yes, great. So, there no doubt so much opportunity and to be thinking about again, you and them. This is such a, a beautiful life opportunity for you to be bringing people together to do what you do in only the way that you do it and to bring your magic into a whole new audience that is really craving what you have. Okay. And so you can see this is what happens. I cannot tell you how joyous I feel when I go into an organization and I listen to, I'll just say it. I listen to the problems that they're dealing with. All people problems. Okay. They're people problems. And, as it's sometimes said, human resources would be much easier if it weren't for the humans that they were trying to, deal with there. So, I get this great privilege to go in and really be a great helper and to be a strategist and to be an advocate for people. I I love it and I love going out and being on site. I mean, doing a lot of things on Zoom, but I just love it. It's such a sense of fulfillment that I get to use all of my powerful coaching and consulting skills, my listening skills, my empathy skills, my skills about tell me more, my strategy. I get to see the big picture when they are mired in the minutia. Okay. And you get to do the same thing. All right. And so our first code that we're going to unlock today is, of course, thinking about, the opportunity. And we'll drill down into more of this in the next couple of days, but there is so much opportunity in corporate. And the kind of what's happening with the culture right now. Christina, thank you. The different generations, different challenges. We also see boomers coming back into the workplace because retirement was tiring for them. They wanted to come back. They want to come back in the workplace. And so how do you help them with their LinkedIn profile? How do you help them prepare and be ready to interview again? How do you help them with their mindset? How do you help them with their confidence? All of these kinds of things. And how to help people step into their full leadership capacity. So for us to get really clear, yes, there's a huge opportunity. But number two, the first thing that's so important in this code is let's get really clear about what your why is. What your why is. Because if you attempt to break into corporate and get into corporate coaching consulting, and you just want to do it because you know the money is going to be better, you know, the money is going to be great, you're going to be able to get corporate fees, which are generally triple and quadruple the amount of regular, business to consumer kinds of clients. If you're doing it just because of the income opportunity, it's going to fall a little short. Okay. They're going to be able to smell it and see it a mile away. But if you're also doing it because, hey, I want to have more diversity in my income, that's why I do it. One of the many reasons here on the list is I want to have a variety of things that I'm doing because I want a diversified client list. I want to have more options and opportunities. I want to have more interesting clients. Okay. I want to have people that are up to very, very interesting things. And it's a much more challenge. It's a very challenging kinds of thing. Got to be thinking about them and thinking about the team dynamics. And it's a whole different game, versus the one-to-one kind of exclusive kind of coaching and consulting practice. More opportunities, much bigger impact. Okay. So I want to come on over to you and see from this list, what can you see? Are there a couple things that are standing out for you in how to, with your, how to expand and get into your corporate coaching business? And feel free, put it in the chat, come off mute, whatever you'd like to do. We want to get your voices in here. Okay. From this list and other lists, what do you think is, what's your why? Jump in.
Good afternoon. This is Gina from Orlando. From the list,
Hi,
the second to last one. Hello. The second to last one, and having more diverse clients and more diverse opportunities. That's the biggest why for me. So yes, the money is nice, of course, but in addition to doing work with individuals, being able to work in a group setting and have more of an impact to touch more ears and hearts, that's a big why for me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And so Gina, we're just going to wish that on you, girl. That's really fantastic. And
Thank you.
completely, yeah. And so it is, right? Yeah. Yeah, really great. And my goodness, blending therapy and mediation and coaching and listening and consulting and all of these beautiful things in a heart-centered but results-oriented fashion, you can do this. This is really great. Really great. Love this. Very nice. Good. Good. Carol, jump in. You've got all those things going on, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the diversity of income streams is really important. And when one thing is hitting, maybe another is not so much, and then there's the opportunity to switch up. So that appeals.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And there's something so very powerful of coming from a place of being able to, as we're a CEO of our company. We are the CEO. We're a coach, consultant, trainer, speaker, mediator, therapist, whatever label we put on ourselves. But there's something very, very powerful of coming into a corporate opportunity and really coming from a position of strength, not from a position of, oh my God, I've got to get this particular client to do X, Y, and Z, but coming in with your full power. And it is, yes, thank you very much. And it's something incredibly satisfying, friends, to be able to have my corporate coaching clients literally, I mean, I'm on a 30,000 $30,000 to $50,000 a month retainer. $30,000 to $50,000 retainer. Now I've got work that I'm in things that I'm doing to fulfill on that, but there's something very powerful of knowing that income is coming in. And of course, there's a price that we pay. Of course, there's an exchange of value there, but just knowing that those kinds of numbers are coming in is really powerful. It's really powerful. Good. Anything else? Thank you, Kim. Love what you wrote. Anyone else? Your reason for doing it. Just get really clear about what's your reason for doing this. Yeah. I also think when everybody is zigging in the coaching and consulting world, you get to zag. Okay. This is one of the big things. When everyone is there's a land grab that's going on now for the business to consumer market. You know it. You see it on LinkedIn and Facebook. We've got more coaches and consultants than ever before. I think that's a great thing because, I always say there are 8 billion people on the planet, and I want everyone to have their own coach. So we need 8 billion coaches. But, there's so much opportunity, but at the same time, there's an energy of, acquisition, and kind of, who senses that? There's something energetically that's going on, and you get to then pivot into your corporate business, which is a whole different kind of energy. It's a little bit slower. It's more methodical. It's really, really a powerful way to do business. Okay, great. Anything else before we go on? Okay, so getting really clear about what your why is really, really important. And that will come through. And your why also about why you want to impact these beautiful employees and these associates, why you want to impact that. Thinking about that as well. One of my big whys is I stand for people working better together, people loving their work, because, we spend 7, 8+ hours a day in our work, just generally. And so having work be fulfilling for people, to be enjoyable, to enjoy the people that they work with and work for, and be able to have work be part of their purpose in life. That's really important to me. And I get to be the catalyst for that. Very joyous. So you getting clear about that, really important. Okay. So continuing on, I would even jot down take some time after today and think about what are the things that are inspiring you? What's your why to do this? And it's going to come through in your branding, in your marketing, in your messaging, which we're going to be talking about in the next couple of days, but get really clear about your why. Okay. And of course, thinking about, this is so critical, because when you think about your why, we're going to move into, where do you already have experience? Okay. Your specialization, your niche. What are you passionate about? What's your point of view? What solutions do you have? And how can you add value? These are all things that are really important. Take a screenshot of this if you'd like to, because we want to use a strengths approach to you getting into corporate coaching and consulting. Okay. And so coming at it from your why, here's why I want to do this, along with here's the value proposition that I can bring. And I've already got experience in this. You've already worked with clients. If you've been in corporate, your corporate experience can be experience as well in your coaching and consulting business. Okay. So one way to do that is we want to think about how to leverage your unique brand and differentiate yourself from the other coaches out there. So, curious question here for you to be thinking about is, what your clients consistently praise you for? What do they appreciate you for? Where do you already have strength? Okay. And so thinking about our challenge today, again, getting clear about what's your why and what is your unique positioning as a corporate coach consultant. Okay. Really important here too. Okay. Bringing in those strengths of listening, compassion, action orientation, able to take a concern or complaint or an issue and help get resolution quickly. Oh my gosh, those are invaluable skills. Okay. And also, the biggest thing here too is, what are the problems that you solve effortlessly that others struggle with? This is absolutely key, because you get to come into a corporate opportunity and bring a new, fresh perspective. Okay. They're all mired in the situation, and you get to come in and bring a unique perspective. Okay. So let me pause here, and then we're going to finish up here in just a moment. But what are your thoughts? What's emerging for you already? Put it in the chat, take yourself off mute, jump in. New things
Wow.
emerging, I hope. Yeah. Yeah.
You were talking about the why, and of course, there's the financial security of not being tied to a day job and being able to just make sure that my future and my son's future are secure. But there's also, the job that I would like to forget that I should probably bring to the forefront is the one I had. I had it for 3 years, from 17 to 21, something like that. And most of the software that I needed to do my job was inaccessible. And I sucked at that job. I wasn't motivated. I didn't follow through with hardly anything. My boss was ready to fire me. And it's not because I didn't have the ability to do the job. It's not because I didn't have a passion for the job. It involved helping students. It involved helping students with disabilities. It's because when you have to go to work every day and struggle with technology that is either so unintuitive that nobody can figure it out, or is inaccessible, it takes more energy out of you than the job itself.
Yes.
And when speaking to human resource professionals, you're probably gonna tell me to phrase it more as a flip that phrase on its head and phrase it as an opportunity to boost engagement, rather than talking about how ineffective I was at my job. But the point is, I wonder how many just mainstream, just run of the mill sighted people are just sapped of energy because of annoying technology.
Yes. Yes.
It's
And
not the job.
that's it. Angela, and tomorrow we're going to come back tomorrow, and we're going to talk about tactics, about how to turn all this into a strategy to start getting your first client. Okay. So this
Well,
is really good. As
wouldn't you
usually,
know it, I'm not going to be here tomorrow because of my day job. I will
okay.
definitely catch the replay, though.
Okay, sounds good. It'll be up within 24 or sooner, much sooner. Yes, yeah. But thank you for that point, because for all of us to be thinking about, part of this challenge is for us to simmer and to think about, in the next 24 hours and beyond, if we had corporate experience, what were the corporate experiences that were the most bothersome to us, the most troubling? Now, I just want to put a little bookmark in there. Um, Certainly ask friends, ask colleagues, talk to your current clients about, what are they dealing with? What are they struggling with? Of course, we want to get all of that down. But I just want to put a little bookmark that in our year-long program, the Women's Corporate Coaching Success Accelerator, I'll just be straight. We do an exercise where we actually take you back in time to when you were in corporate, or when you experienced that, concern, worry, trauma, whatever it is, and we help you heal it. Because I want to just tell you, the thing that stopped me from going back into corporate and going to corporate coaching consulting, where I knew so many people, I had so much leverage and experience, was that I had unresolved concerns, worries, traumas. I had stuff that was unresolved, and it made me angry. I didn't want to go back into this treasure trove of opportunity until I healed what I needed to heal. I need to recognize what I needed to recognize, so I could come in as a clean slate, as I could come in and see new perspective. So if we've been in corporate, I just want to say there's some things that could be still unresolved for you, and we got to get those resolved. Okay. Otherwise, you will get stopped. Okay. Anybody relate to what I'm saying? Put it in the chat. Yeah. It's something that's not really discussed, but it does get in the way. Okay. So we've got to recognize it. All right. So as we complete our time, thinking about, what are the problems that you solve? What are the problems you experienced when you were in corporate, or people that have jobs right now? And there's a lot of energy around it. Okay. We will get it resolved. We will get it resolved, because if you come in, let's just say hypothetically, you get hired by the sales leadership team to come in and help with sales communication with clients, or more visibility with salespeople, or team building, or leadership, or connection, enthusiasm, motivation, all these things. And you still have the energy of the drama, you will not be effective. Or you quote unquote side with the employees versus, say, let's just say the leadership team is the one who's hiring you, and you come in only advocating for the employees and against management, those types of things, you will not be successful as you could be. Okay. So coming in as a clean slate, as an objective consultant, as a helper, as a solution provider is key. Okay. So think about the problems you experienced, and what is the experience that you want to give to people? Okay. So part of it is thinking now, again, what's your why? What is your experience? What are the things that you do that you love to do? What has been your experience in corporate or with corporate or businesses? And ultimately, how do you want to shift it around? What's the experience that you'd like to give people and be an advocate for? Having parents be more connected to each other and have a community within corporate to support each other and rely on each other. And you get to be the advocate, and you get to be the teacher and the trainer, and create community in corporate, to create alliances of parents, single parents, parents with two partners, whatever it is. You get this great privilege to create the experience. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to come in and we're going to talk about what's this sweet spot success strategy. I like algorithms, allegories, acrostics. I love all of these things, metaphors, all kinds of things. But we're going to be talking tomorrow during our challenge day. Number 2 is, where's the best spot for you to start, and how do you start to bring your offer into corporate? Okay, so tomorrow is the day we're going to get on the field and do this. But today's challenge, the assignment is, please make a list of the outcomes or the benefits of your current program. What are the things that you're currently doing right now that provide benefits to people in corporate? Okay. So perhaps, you're a leadership coach right now, or a communication coach, or a conflict avoidance coach, or a mediator, or trainer, or a speaker, or, an advocate, whatever it is. Let's start getting a list together of the outcomes and the benefits of what you do. Okay. People will not be buying necessarily, or putting in a proposal for you as a team coach, but they're going to be putting in that you're going to help them build connection, be able to build communication, build velocity, build productivity, be able to have people work better together so the outcomes get done faster, productivity, competition, all kinds of great things. So let's think on the equation side of, what do the clients want, and what do you do that already will help them? Okay. So back to number 2 here is, how can these outcomes and benefits help people in their jobs and their career? Okay. Help them work faster, better, more effectively, and have more enjoyment, be more profitable, productive, with more focus, etc. All right. So just curious, as we complete our time, what's your biggest takeaway? What's your biggest takeaway from our time together? Just one takeaway. And if you'd like to declare a next step in our challenge, we invite you to do that. Put it in the chat, take yourself off mute, And what's your biggest takeaway? And what would be your next step? Jump in, unmute yourself. Well, first of all, has this been helpful today? I hope this has been helpful. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Seeing new opportunities, thinking new things, opening your mind and your eyes to all around you, ready to go. Jump in.
So I right now am putting together the list. So there were two questions, right? The first question is, what are list the benefits and outcomes of my product or service? And then the sort of the follow-up question is, how do those benefits and outcomes benefit someone's job or career? Correct?
Excellent. Yes.
So right now I'm using an AI helper that's been trained on my product, service, and all of that to answer both of those questions.
Fantastic. Great. Yeah, exactly. And, use AI to help. Great point, Christina. Thank you. And with a spin of course, in corporations, in organizations, associations, all of those different types of things, because there's a different mindset of how our benefits can help them. So that's great. And also, let me drill down and say those are going to be different at the employee or colleague level, at the managerial level, and at the leadership level, and perhaps even at the board and the stakeholder level. And then even moving it out to, hey, what about the supply chain and customers and clients and partners, all kinds of things. So you're going to have a web of opportunities that are really thrilling. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited myself. Woo, great. Thank you, Christina. Great. How about someone else? Your biggest takeaway and your next step. Take yourself off mute, jump in. Hey, if you don't declare it, it won't happen. Okay. You don't declare it, it won't happen.
I would say for me, my biggest takeaway, I was sitting up here thinking about what is my biggest takeaway. And I think my biggest takeaway is that I feel like I made like absolute right decision to first, go in and make corporate offers, but second, to come to this masterclass today, or this challenge, I should say, come to this challenge. So I feel like I made it was, a really great decision, delicious decision to carry on that word. And secondly, my next step was I had already given myself homework based just on some of the slides that you shared. So I will do the homework from all the ones that we took screenshots for, so I can be ready for mañana. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Excellent. Yes. Yeah. Great. Anyone else? Biggest takeaway and your next step? The opportunity is real, folks. It is real. And it is the timing of you being here is absolutely perfect. I want to also jump over to, we know that most corporations are now putting in their budgets for next year. And so your timing to be here, raising your awareness, being in this conversation is so incredibly critical. Okay. You can, number one, avail yourself of year-end funds that may be available for projects and initiatives. And number two, get yourself budgeted for next year's training and development, special interest groups, employee benefits. I mean, so many different areas for the next year. Okay. Yeah, great. Thank you. Anyone else? Biggest takeaway, next step?
I think my next step is to start building a corporate audience in terms of, my audience is mostly accessibility professionals at this point, which is great. I mean, there's an opportunity there, as we discovered, at unlocking potential. But the first thing I need to do is build my corporate audience, and I'm not exactly sure how to do that. I think one avenue is going to be through you were talking about the network of HR professionals.
Sure, absolutely.
They I've been thinking about them for the last hour. But yeah, that's definitely going to be the next step for me.
Fantastic. Thank you, Angela. Very, very good. Yeah, and we're going to talk in greater detail the next couple days about who to contact, how to make that connection with your ideal client. But getting this foundational piece again done today is, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? What are the benefits? And thinking, getting ourselves in the world of those beautiful clients, making that connection. We want to make that connection. So good. Well, with that, thank you for an awesome day one of our challenge. You know, it was fantastic because you were here and we had a beautiful opportunity to collaborate. So we'll see you tomorrow, and lots of love to each of you. Let's get that radar going. Hey, we have a big job to do. We have 8 billion lives to change, and you and I can do it together. Okay. Lots of love. See you on day 2. Okay. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Thank you.